Sunny Radio, where it's always in the 80s. Thank you so much for listening on a Friday. Each Friday morning, we've been shining our sunny spotlight on the Sioux Empire United Way. And today, we've got Jay Huizinga. He is actually the 2017 campaign chairperson. Jay, how are you doing, sir?
Doing well, John, and thanks for having me on this morning.
Well, we're glad to have you on the program. And I remember it's been a little over a year ago, I suppose, that you and I first talked about this concept. And the thing that I think is really cool is there are a lot of people who know about the Sioux Empire United Way, and there's a ton of people who contribute to the Sioux Empire United Way, but I think there's also a good chunk of people that they know that it's there, and they maybe even contribute, but they don't exactly know what the Sioux Empire United Way does with these funds. So it's been so awesome to be able to shine the spotlight on the wonderful volunteers, the absolutely amazing organizations that you guys work with. So thank you for the opportunity that we've had over the last year. It's been a whole lot of fun. Has it been a good year for the Sioux Empire United Way?
Well, John, it sure has, and I do remember our conversation about a year ago now, and we really had a twofold idea at that point. One was to get some public service announcements out to let people know what the United Way did, but then also to do things like this that you're doing every Friday, and that's getting longer form interviews out to let people know what the Sioux Empire United Way does, because so many times people see these campaigns go through their businesses towards the end of the year in October, November, and they run campaigns and things like that, and that's the first and last time they hear about what the United Way does. So our goal is really to get that educational part out 12 months out of the year, and I think we've had great success with that.
Is there still opportunity right now for people to make a contribution for this year?
Well, there's always that opportunity on the United Way website. There's a place that you can click to donate. We're making things very easy for people. But honestly, the company campaigns, the employee campaigns within those companies are coming to a close now, especially with the holiday, and we're just finding out how successful those campaigns were. The final few contributions and commitments come in during the month of January. And once we get that all compiled, then we announce the total for the campaign goal and see where we ended up in early February.
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that I just read, and I didn't even know this until like 2 days ago when I read this, did you know that this week is the week that more people make contributions than any other week of the year between Christmas and New Year? And it's a lot of businesses that say, you know what, I need to make a contribution to something. I'm going to spend the money. I can either give it to Uncle Sam or I can give it to a good cause. So if you happen to have a business and you're saying, hey, maybe I should be doing that, there's still time. Maybe sit down with your tax professional and say, how much should I be donating for the best thing for my business and the best thing for my community? And I just thought that was really cool. I didn't know that this week was such a big week for that, but I guess this is the biggest week for charitable contributions in the entire year. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I'm glad to hear it, and I'm glad we're talking about it, because if there is a business out there that hasn't had a chance to talk about the Sioux Empire United Way or needs us to give them more information, they can certainly contact the United Way office. But in addition, on the website, there's a place to give, and we really need to do as much as we can to help as many people as we can. The reason people donate this time of year is because they do need to help those that are less fortunate. And as you've probably talked about over the course of the year with us, the Sioux Empire United Way funds 87 programs around the Sioux Empire. And keep in mind, that's just not Sioux Falls, it's the Sioux Empire, the counties around Sioux Falls as well. 87 programs and 41 agencies. So it's a big deal. We need that help to be able to do that, and we really feel like we're going to go a long way towards making a difference for those in need in 2017.
That is awesome. And this is a great way for you. A lot of people say, hey, I'd like to do something good, but, on my own, I just can't do much. Well, the good news is with the United Way, you're not on your own. It's you and, 27,000 of your closest friends that are all working together, pooling your money and helping to make a much bigger difference than you'd ever be able to make on your own.
Right. And I heard a great analogy once. It's kind of like having a mutual fund. You put your money in, it goes in with a whole bunch of other people, and then that group of money grows in a mutual fund. Well, this is essentially the same concept. You pool your money with other people, and that allows the Sioux Empire United Way, through their hundreds of volunteers that spend a lot of time reviewing requests from agencies and programs, to put that money where it can best be used. So it's a very efficient program. You don't have to worry about going out and finding that as an individual, although we all have our individual nonprofits that we like to support. This supports the community and the places that really need that money, and the recommendations are based on community needs and services, but we also expect to have outcomes from that. So it's a full circle process from start to finish.
I like that analogy. Instead of a mutual fund, it's like a mutual fund raiser, and we get very good returns on that. So,
yeah, that's right. That's well put.
Well, Jay, thank you again for all that you've done. Now that you're going to be stepping down from your year as campaign chair, how have things changed for you? Did you get a new perspective during this time, or is there anything that you learned that we can all learn from?
Well, I've been probably a 30-year volunteer for the United Way. This was the first time I've had the opportunity to be the campaign chair. When you're the campaign chair, you see a lot of parts that go on behind the scenes, from making sure the allocations process works. But what's more amazing is the enthusiasm of the people that are out there raising money on behalf of the Sioux Empire United Way. They believe in the mission, and I've found that to be the most rewarding thing, is to see how seriously these people take it, but they also have a lot of fun with it. And we're all after the same thing, and that's to help those that are in need. So we're close to our $10 million goal. We're about 80% there, and we feel like we're going to have really good news to report to you and everyone else in February.
Well, we look forward to that report. And Jay, again, thank you for your service over this last year and over the last 30 years. But, over the last year of being the one in charge of steering this campaign, I think you've done a phenomenal job.
Well, thanks, John. And we appreciate what Sunny Radio's done for us. This has been a great part of our success. We've gotten a lot of education out, and we appreciate your support of the United Way.
It's been a lot of fun. And one of the things that I've learned over the last year is every single person, I'm not even kidding, there's no exception to this, every person that I've spoken to on these little Friday spotlights, every single person from the United Way, whether they were one of the volunteers or a chairperson from a committee or a person that's in charge of one of the great groups that are doing the good things, every single one of them have been wonderful people to talk to. And I could talk to them for 3 hours. We give them a little 5 to 10 minute spotlight here, but they are so passionate about what they do, and they love the opportunity to help other people. And the Sioux Empire United Way gives them the chance to do that, because if they didn't have funding, they wouldn't be able to do what they're doing. And if they had to take half of their time to go out and do fundraising all the time, instead of doing good things, you guys help contribute to them so they can do more good things. And I'm like, that just makes sense to me. So again, it's been an eye-opening experience to find that, again, 100% of the people I've talked to have been some of the most positive, upbeat, happy, helpful, wonderful people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, well, thank you. That's certainly nice to say, and I concur. The people I've worked with are exactly as you described, so thank you very much.
And folks, it's not too late. If you would like to make a contribution, a lot of people have done that through their employers, but there's some people who maybe work for themselves, or they work for an employer that doesn't offer that. You can make a contribution directly if you go to the website for the Sioux Empire United Way, SEUW.org. And if you'd like to sign up to volunteer, you can do that there as well. And again, the website is SEUW.org. And like we just learned, and I learned a couple days ago, this week is a big week for people to give. So for the businesses listening, if you're saying, hey, I'd like to give and I'd like to, do something good and also do something good for my books as well, this would be a great opportunity. Again, SEUW.org. Thanks for listening to Sunny Radio on a Friday.